What's going on, everybody? This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we are going to talk about things that Arizona needs but does not yet have. If you have any ideas about things that you think that have crossed your mind, whether you're driving on the freeway or talking with your family and you're like, Arizona needs one of those, or we need that in Arizona, drop a comment below because these videos are getting a lot of attention from locals, and this is your opportunity to get your voice out there about some of these things that you think that Arizona needs. Not just Phoenix, Tucson as well, but the whole state. So this is your time to get the voice out there. So do drop the comments. But we're also going to talk about the things that people have talked about, some of my ideas, and some of the projects that are already in the works, incubating, being built, and in the pipeline to hopefully be built. So thanks to everyone who already hit the like button. We already have a few likes coming in. We have some viewers. So let's dive in here and talk about all of this. By the way, thank you to everyone who's a subscriber and keeps up with Living in Arizona Now. Again, I always tell you guys, we've got lots of videos that we've made off-road all across the state of Arizona. So go through the homepage if you want to watch some of those videos after you're done with this one. But I see you guys, Yvette, B Aviation, Firefly Odessa. What's going on, everybody? All right, so let's talk about some of the projects that are in the pipeline, and we'll get into all that, and hopefully you guys come up with some other ideas. I see Miriam and Brad. So let's see here. I also pinned a message to my new channel, VirtCam. I will put a link below and pin the comment. And thanks to the 150 people who already came over from this channel to support me on VirtCam, which really helps me out. But let's talk about some of the 10 projects that are already kind of under construction that we have going on right now. So there's a proposal for, this is on AZBX, by the way. There's a proposal for a big resort arena renovation. So this is at Talking Stick. They're reimagining the construction at Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix. So there's an idea about where the Sun's going to play. By the way, this is a Diamondbacks hat. They just broke, I think they're at like 500. They just won again today. So we support the local teams, but the Suns are playing tonight against the Mavericks at home. We had the best record in the NBA. Any Suns fans out there? I know I'm a Suns fan. I'm a D-backs fan, and go Cardinals. Although we just lost DeAndre Hopkins for 6 weeks because of something that's ridiculous. It shouldn't have happened, and the NFL's overreacting, I think. But there's a Ritz-Carlton Resort and Hotel that's actually being built in Scottsdale. That's really exciting. Also, you also have the Northwest phase for the light rail extension. You have the Valleywise Health Roosevelt Campus Hospital and Site Development. A lot of people ask questions about hospitals. Are we building any hospitals out here? But we have some work, and we also have the Phoenix SkyTrain being built. But I was going to say the Nikola electric semi-truck manufacturing facility. But thanks to ABC 15, who I think probably covers this subject better than anyone, they've got some of the real juicy projects that are coming, like Legacy Sports Park. Okay, they've got this big Legacy Sports Park, which includes a soccer stadium. I hope we get a professional soccer team actually out here. In fact, we asked the question out here on Living in Arizona Now. We said, what is one thing Arizona needs but does not yet have? Is it really high-speed rail? 35% of you guys out of 2.1 thousand people who voted, you guys said, yeah, we need high-speed rail. And you guys want to connect Phoenix to Tucson, and you want to connect Phoenix to Los Angeles. And that's what most people are talking about. And then second was world-class theme park. So people are saying, hey, we're a huge city. We're one of the biggest cities, number 5 in the country. Why don't we have a world-class theme park? I mean, if St. Louis, Cleveland, all these other small towns, even Orlando has way too many, how come Phoenix and Arizona in general can't build at least one really nice theme park? Like, how is it that we have all these people who will go to this theme park and no developer, no builder got a bright idea, a light bulb that went off over their head and said, hey, if we build it, they will come? Because yes, they will. But if you build some janky, small-time little Cracker Jacks or some small amusement park and it doesn't succeed, it's because you didn't go for you didn't go for gold. You build it and they will come. Yes, they will. More freeways. Oh, by the way, a really awesome water park. They said a professional soccer team, that was 4%. And then 306 people in the comments here came up with a whole bunch of different things like more shade. I mean, yeah, more shade. I guess more trees is what they mean by that. Then they said they want to buy Puerto Penasco, Rocky Point off Mexico because they want beachfront property in Arizona. So they said, hey, can we offer to buy Rocky Point off Mexico? That was kind of a funny one because, you know, that was that song, I got some open oceanfront property if you'll buy that. Who sings that? Clint Black? No, George Strait. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. He said, and if you'll buy that, you know, whatever it was. But let's see here. Someone said Arizona needs people that don't drive through red lights, maybe. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that in any state. But here's another one. I think it would be pretty sweet if we could buy Rocky Point from Arizona. A nice ocean beach is all the place really needs. That was Puffy 420, blaze it. He got some good ideas while he's Puffy 420 in. You know what I mean? Someone said, yeah, America's not going to give Arizona oceanfront property. Was dumb. Okay, Jeff S. He's got some opinions. Who else? Moody Pet says water park. Yeah, let's talk about ABC 15, one of my favorite local news channels, and what they had to say about that. So you could see Northern Arizona talking about a themed story park. So that's up in Northern Arizona near Williams. Williams actually already has Bearizona, and they have some other stuff going on around there. It's a good summer getaway to go up to Williams near Flagstaff, and they're talking about adding more to that. I like Williams. I think it's a cool place. But they also have the Santan Adventure Park, which is a proposed 18-hole miniature golf course. Right now, we just have castles and coasters if we want to get on a roller coaster. Now, you guys all remember the Dreamport Village Dream, the wet dream as we want to call it. You know, thanks to 24 people who already hit the likes. You know, it was like this big project that everyone was all excited about. You know, everyone was getting so excited, and then they just pulled the rug on us and they're like, we're not doing it. So anyway, Dreamport Villages was touted back in 2017 as mega theme park that would span 1,500 acres in Casa Grande and include a water park, rock climbing, extreme sports, hotels, restaurants, and shops. This is on ABC 15, guys. Like I said, ABC 15 is on it for you. And in 2019, the developer told ABC 15 it could take up to 10 years to build it out. So it's still 10 years out. I mean, it's a mega project. But if they would have started it in 2017 or 2018 when they had the idea, here it is 2022, we'd almost be halfway done. But they've been kicking the can around. I guess they didn't get local support or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, with the building boom that we've just had with all these people coming in, they're going to want a project like this. So I think Dreamport Villages might have missed the boat. What do you guys think? You guys think they still got it going or what? Over the years, the amount of land that would have been purchased to build the mega park has become unavailable. So I think the Dreamport Village dream is done. But they also have the Phoenix Surf Park. I think Big Surf. You guys all remember Big Surf or know about Big Surf? I mean, last time I went to Big Surf out in Mesa, it had so many people. Like, it was overcrowded. They had too many people there, actually. So that told me there's a huge demand for water parks. Why don't they actually build a really awesome one instead of just using Big Surf, which was built in like the 60s or 70s or something? I mean, that water park is okay, but this one's got 2 wave pools is what they're proposing. For this one's going to be built in Maricopa. That's a little bit too far south. I don't think they got to go all the way south for that. But then you have Crystal Lagoons Island Resort out in Glendale. It seems like Glendale's getting most of the good projects. They're building this 10-acre lagoon. They're also building the Mattel Adventure Park, which you can see right here. Or will they say they're building it? Anyone driven by there to see if they had anything? I mean, but the Crystal Lagoons and the Mattel seem to actually be happening. So Glendale is where a lot of the big stuff is going. It's kind of crazy because Glendale, I guess it's cheap land out there. That's the thing. That's why they're all building out in Glendale. But there's a look at Crystal Lagoons. And then they have Cannon Beach, Revel Surf. I think these water parks, I mean, right now we have Hurricane Harbor and we have a couple other water parks, but we are due for a mega water park that is just going to be booming. And if you build it kind of with a retractable roof, wouldn't that be cool? Like make a retractable roof theme park. If they ever do away with the Arizona Cardinals Stadium and replace it and build another one where it should be like right downtown or in Tempe, which is where the Cardinals should be playing instead of way out in Glendale, they should take that whole stadium and turn it into an indoor water park. that's still 20, 30, maybe 15 years away from now. Although there is a little bit of a conversation getting started about where the Cardinals should build a new stadium. But a lot of you guys are going to be like, no way. Or if you don't want to do it there, then maybe Chase Field, because they are talking about the Diamondbacks getting a new stadium. We'll see about all that. I think Chase Field and the Arizona Cardinals Stadium are great. They're still in really good shape. But I mean, a water park with a retractable roof would be a pretty cool idea, I thought. Someone said they need a scorpion zoo. I've never heard of a scorpion zoo. That is wild. The best zoo in Phoenix, we have Phoenix Zoo, and then we have the World Wildlife Zoo out in Litchfield Park down by Luke Air Force Base. Man, that wild animal park out in Litchfield Park in West Phoenix, way out there on the west side, has more animals than I've ever seen at any other zoo. I mean, they got all types of variety of animals, and it's cheap. It's just the whole, the infrastructure at that zoo is just not up to par. But it's got way more animals than the Phoenix Zoo. Then they have this project that they're talking about building in Gilbert, the Strand, proposed to be a 25-acre water park at Gilbert Regional Park. Hey, thanks, guys. I also pinned my subscribe to VirtCam, my other channel. So thanks to you guys who are also subscribing to that. I pinned that to the top, and I put the link below. So appreciate all that, guys. He says, it's a joke. It's a joke. He was just joking about the scorpions. Yeah, I know. I couldn't possibly think you were serious. But let's see here. Last night says, we turn out hot water heater off and use the cooler, then the tap in the summer. Okay. Jeff S. says, Arizona needs a water pipeline from the Mississippi River. Yeah, I mean, from the Mississippi or the Great Lakes, I mean, I guess you could run a canal from the Great Lakes into the Mississippi through there, and I don't know. I mean, I was just in the Midwest, for those of you who follow me on Island Hopper TV. I was just in Kansas City, St. Louis, and also Cincinnati. So they got the big river. Missouri River goes through Cincinnati. That's a big river. Not the Missouri, the Ohio. I'm sorry. The Ohio River is a big river. The Missouri River is a big river. And both of those dump into the Mississippi. So does the Illinois River. All these different rivers pouring into the Mississippi. I'm like, where's all this water going? It's just going into the Gulf, and it's, taking New Orleans with it. There was also a conversation possibly about building a Six Flags in Arizona. So we'll see about all that, but thanks to Arizona 15 for covering a more in-depth look into some of this stuff, because we needed someone to really be talking about it. That's why we're talking about it on this channel. And Scott Glick says, what we need is an investment in desalinization. Yeah, desal is a big thing. I mean, where are you going to build the plant? You going to work with California, or are you going to work with Mexico? I would say you'd have to work with California, probably San Diego, and you'd have to find the path of least resistance through the mountains. So let's go to Google Maps here and see what we got on the mountain ranges, because when you build the canal to get out here, you're going to have to go through a lot of stuff to get here. Let's see. So if we zoom out and we look right here, there's not so many mountains. I guess you could probably run the route. See, there's a lot of mountains in San Diego. There's not so many right here through Riverside. I guess you'd have to run it through the Palm Springs Riverside area and then just run it kind of right here to Blythe. Once you get to Blythe, you could probably run it north to the canal that already exists at the Central Arizona Project. I guess you could connect the desal to Central Arizona Project. That would probably be a good idea, is to connect it to the Central Arizona Project. So that would be probably the way to go. You already have the canal on the Arizona side, and then you help fund the canal from Los Angeles. I would have preferred to work with San Diego, since San Diego's a lot more logical and sensible about the way they do things than Los Angeles. Los Angeles is just, I don't know, their politics makes it impossible to be under budget or around budget. They're just wasteful. It's terrible. Oh man. Anyway, limit your showers to once a week, says Bob. Bob wants you to take one shower once a week, and he wants you to do it for 5 minutes, and that's it, right, Bob? Is that what you I don't know. Last night says desal. Oops, not diesel. My blonde. No, desal is desalinization. Diesel is diesel fuel. So desal is just a shortened term for desalinization. I mean, you try and say desalinization 10 times and tell me what your tongue tells you back. So that's why they call it desal. I mean, we could probably call it something a little bit easier, but basically desalinization, basically taking salt out of the ocean water and making it fresh drinking water. So they desalinate, they pull the salt out of there. I'm breaking it down to Barney terms because some people don't even know what desalinization is. Thanks to the 48 people who smashed the likes. Someone says, how can they keep building out with such a water shortage? Well, so the federal government went to Arizona during the Trump era. Trump basically went to Arizona and he said, hey, if you guys are going to keep building, you need to show me and the federal government that you guys have enough water to support the building boom. And the state of Arizona under Governor Ducey went back to the federal government and told them, this is how much water we've got in reserves. Talked about all the water that we have on the SRP, which is this river line right here is still full of water. You still got water in Theodore Roosevelt Lake. You got water in Apache Lake. You got water in Canyon Lake, and you got water in Saguaro. 4 lakes right there. Also, you got the Verde River reservoirs. You've got Bartlett Lake, and you've got Horseshoe Lake up here. And those reservoirs still have a lot of water. So they have water from the Salt River. And then we have a ton of drinking water or groundwater, believe it or not. They also have the water that comes in from the Central Arizona Project, which is Lake Pleasant. So you'll see the canal that brings in the water to Lake Pleasant somewhere around here. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Where is the canal? Oh man, I have to find the canal. Anyway, that's part of the Central Arizona Project. It was basically Lake Pleasant was built because of Agua Fria. You can see the Agua Fria River, which is basically dry, but that's what the purpose of this reservoir, Lake Pleasant. So all those reservoirs that you go out and ride your jet skis on and do all these different expeditions out there on the beautiful Lake Pleasant like this, look at that. I mean, that looks like Baja, California. It's a beautiful lake at Lake Pleasant, isn't it? I mean, we got a lot of beautiful lakes out here, but those are actually man-made reservoirs for your drinking water. So what about desal line from Gulf of California? Well, that's going through Mexico. So yeah, there's less mountains right there. But the thing is, when you're dependent upon another country for your water, that can cause a problem because it's like the same thing when I went to when I went to St. Louis. I went to the Arch Museum. Have you guys ever been to the History Museum at the Arch in St. Louis? Well, this was all part of Louisiana, which was French. This was British North America. This all was, well, it was the 13 colonies, but before, kind of during the same time, this was New Spain, this was Louisiana, which was France, and then this was the UK before it became the United States, the 13 colonies. But it was divided by the Mississippi River. Well, what ended up happening that forced the Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson got pissed off because France had blocked the port of New Orleans, and so basically traders, American farmers and others were cut off from using the Mississippi because they cut off the port at New Orleans. And that's what forced Jefferson to go to France and say, hey, what's it going to take to buy Louisiana off you guys, which included basically all this area right here from St. Louis, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. You know, it kind of went all the way up into here, Wisconsin, and this whole area. And it was because they didn't like being dependent on France for their trade routes. So they bought Louisiana off the French. But that's the same thing that happened with what would happen if you started pumping water in from the Gulf of California. You'd be dependent on Mexico, and you'd have to hope that relations between the United States and Mexico stayed kosher. Or you go to Mexico and you say, hey, you know Sonora? We really like Sonora. You know Hermosillo? That's a beautiful city. That's actually Phoenix's sister city. How about we just buy Sonora off you guys? And then we got access to this whole Gulf of California. We make it part of Arizona, or we keep Sonora just a state. But that's never going to happen. That's wishful thinking. And then, you know, they built a wall right here, so they'd have to tear down the wall. So it's just crazy talk. It'll never happen. So basically, you're stuck being dependent, hoping that Mexico and United States relations always remain good. I mean, United States and Mexico should be best of friends. They should be best of friends. I mean, but politics, you know, it's like Canada and the United States. They should be best of friends. But are they? I mean, it's like, so should Britain and Ireland be best friends, but they're not. So should Britain and France be best friends, but they're not. So, I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to be dependent on them. So you'd have to go to California. And then they talk about California seceding from the Union. Or whatever they call it nowadays, the Union or the States, the United States. It's crazy. Silver Money Dude says cloud seeding technology would work. So for those of you who don't know what cloud seeding is, it's where basically a plane or some sort of rocket or some sort of spacecraft flies over a cloud and drops silver iodine on the cloud. And that's called cloud seeding. What that does is it basically forces the cloud to create more moisture and atmospheric energy that basically expands the cloud, and it makes a rain cloud. They're doing cloud seeding in Dubai. That's how I know about it. But I knew about cloud seeding because also in World War II, it was a form of like weather manipulation for combat. Before you would go invade somebody, you'd basically just drench them in rain and make it really hard for them to live in these, just basically soak them and then go in there and do an invasion. That's why they were trying to do with cloud seeding during World War II. So it was originally built as a weapon. Most of these technologies were originally created as weapons. But cloud seeding now is being used to basically make clouds bigger to drop more rain and water and moisture. Jeff S. says they did it in Vietnam too, to flood. Yeah, that was the whole point of cloud seeding. But yeah, that's what he's talking about. And Emmanuel Dawkins says, if Lake Mead and Lake Powell go dry, what happens to Arizona? Well, Arizona still has those reservoirs. We still have the Salt River Project, and we still have the Verde River that connects to the Salt River Project. But if Lake Powell, you know, Vegas is the one who's really going to be the most screwed. Vegas. I would say Los Angeles could also feel it, but Los Angeles is in a, I don't know. Here's something that really fixes a big problem. If California goes full on desalinization, it takes the strain off of the Colorado because a lot of water comes in from this. I don't know how much exactly. I'm not going to sit here and say a lot, but a significant amount of the Colorado River water goes into Los Angeles. If you got California off the Colorado River, that opens up more water potential. So desalinization, if you get California building the plants right there on the coastline, many of them, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Irvine, all the way down to like Oceanside and San Diego, Northern California still pulls off of the Sierra Nevadas, which is irrelevant to the rest of the country. But if you get them on desalinization, that'll take a lot of the strain off of the Colorado River and save Las Vegas. Because without that, Las Vegas is toast. But Phoenix, not so bad, because most of our drinking water comes from a lot of our drinking water comes from the White Mountains right here, the snow. The other snowfall for the Colorado is coming from the Rocky Mountains up here. So if the Rockies are getting plenty of snow, I flew over the Rockies just the other day. There was tons of snowpack up there. I don't know what's going on. There was a lot of snow up there, and it was like basically May. So we'll see. Rick says he's watching from Oceanside right now. I mean, is there any talk about big projects like that? I don't know. Thanks to everyone who hit the likes. We got 84 likes. All right, guys, that's going to do it for now. We can have this conversation in the comments below after. I think it's really important that you guys actually get on there and start throwing ideas out there about what Arizona needs, because you'd be surprised who actually watches these videos. It's not just you guys, but other people who are possibly influential, that we can get their ear and their attention. So you guys dropping comments after this video is posted really helps spread the word and get the good word out there about what you think we need, because I don't see how else the politicians are listening to us unless someone's giving that people a platform to basically get the word out there about what you think we need. So thanks to everyone who watched, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, thanks for subscribing to VirtCam, my other channel. I will put a link below, and it's pinned to the top. So if you go over there and help support me over there, that'll help get that channel going.